What if I told you by the end of this video you'll understand trigger travel and what you need to do to become more proficient at the range? If you really think about it, most of your manipulation comes from trigger pulls versus trigger presses. And we need to practice as much as we can on getting that trigger back into a motion that's going to allow us to slowly engage it until it fires. Now let's assume you have proper grip and proper stance, but how do we go from that to getting a good trigger press? It's about dry firing. And I have a lot of students that ask me, I don't really understand dry firing. Can you give me some concepts of dry firing? Can you give me some drills to do and help me understand it? Well, this is that video, and I'm going to do this for you today. Dry firing is pretty simple, guys. What you need to do is you need to take a weapon. Now we're using the Glock 48 today. I'm going to clear it, make sure it's empty, because we will be pointing this at the camera and other places today. If you're in your home dry firing, you need to make sure you're in a room that your ammo bag isn't in, the magazine's not in, or anything else like that. You don't need anything special to dry fire. Basically, you need a weapon. You need a target of some kind. At home, we use light switches. You can put a piece of sticky note on the wall or anything else like that will help you tremendously understand it. So let's go through a simple dry fire technique real quick. So we take the weapon. We always verify it's clear. We check manufacturer, look at it, verify it's empty. Always do that first. Now what you want to do is you want to get that proper grip. Now we've talked proper grip multiple times, but I'm just going to show you real quick. And want your finger off that trigger every time you touch the pistol. You want to put that void right there and put your other hand into it. Now, as we push this weapon out to our line of sight, we're going to be looking at this trigger, and we're going to take this weapon and slowly begin to apply pressure until the weapon cuts. And that's what we're looking for. No bobble on the front post. And we want to do that multiple times. We want to bring it up, and you can drive it out to your line of sight. Get it out in front of you. Find your sight system. Concentrate on that front post as much as possible. And slowly press the trigger until the weapon fires. And the more we do that slow, continuous press back on the trigger, the more simpler it becomes. Now, there are a lot of different ways we can do this. We can get to a point where when we drive this weapon out, what we can do is take some of that slack out of that trigger. And then it's going to be only a little bit further back for it to cut. And that's kind of what I do when I'm at the range and I'm shooting. When I drive this weapon out, I'm already engaged in the trigger, putting pressure on it. So when I concentrate on that front post, then I'm just going to slowly press back, press back, press back until the weapon fires. Now I'm applying the same amount of pressure I would if I was shooting the pistol. We want to kind of give you a percentage. Your dominant hand is about 40% of your grip, and all the rest comes from here. And I'm using my chest muscles to drive the weapon. So let's rack it back, bring it up, squeeze, press, drive, look through, cut. Squeeze, press, look through, bring back, press. Let me show you what normally a bad trigger press would be. Did you see how that fell? That when that falls like that, that's where the bullet's going to impact. That little bit of bobble like that will affect a lot of stuff we do. There are many ways we can dry fire. It's low round count. You think about it. It costs you nothing to go. I tell a lot of students, when you first come to the range, go ahead and do 10 or 15 trigger engagements. That way you get an idea of how much travel you got on the weapon and get the understanding, okay, mine, let's work this trigger back slow and on purpose, not jerk it and pull it. And the more we do that, the easier it becomes for us. So that we go here, press through, concentrate on your front post, cut the shot. Cut the shot. Cut the shot. Now, that's one way to do it. There are a lot of different things we can do. I have the pencil drill. I'll show you in a few seconds. There is the shell on the casing here. Let me grab a casing. Goes right on top. Put it here. Put it out in front of you. Look how it's wobbling already, guys. Put it out here. Get the trigger back. And slow press. That right there is a good way of doing it. It kind of gives you the ability. Now, here's one that's kind of cool. Let me rack the slider. Now this takes a little bit of practice. That's a good way of doing it too. Dry firing is not difficult, but it is part of your training you need to do on a regular basis. We can actually come from holster at home, here, 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 bring it out, present it, and dry fire. Come back into the holster. Now one of the things, come out, elbow back, hands together, push out, bring it here, and press that trigger. The more we do stuff like that, it becomes easier and easier for us to, what we're trying to do is present that weapon in our line of sight. We're trying to take it all the way to the point of bringing it to the range and repeating it. Now, I'm going to show you the pencil drill. And basically all you need is a 3x5 card, a number 2 pencil, and a weapon. And what happens there is I am going to stick the pencil in the barrel. We want to check, make sure it's empty every time. Don't forget that. Although you've checked it multiple times, we're going to put this in the barrel. And what happens is when I engage the trigger, the firing pin is going to engage the eraser, and it's going to hit the 3x5 card. Now the cool thing about this drill, the pencil drill, is it allows us to present the weapon out almost touching the 3x5 card. And when we do it properly, the tip of this pencil is going to make a mark on the 3x5 card. And then if we do it again, bring it up in our line of sight, your dot this pencil makes should be about in the same spot. That shows you you're presenting the weapon in your line, a horizontal and vertical line each time, and it's going to be right where you need to do. So I am going to switch on another camera over here, which will allow us to see it from 2 angles, and then you'll be able to see mostly the target now, and I'll be talking over it, if that makes sense. So let me switch over to this other camera. Okay, so as I do it, what we're going to do is we're going to rack the slide, bring your hands out, almost touch the target, look through your system, present it, and it makes a dot. Present it, and it makes a dot. Present it, and it makes a dot. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but there is where I've been hitting. And the more we do that, that says I'm in the same spot each time. The pencil drill is a really good drill because what it does, it allows you to make sure you're presenting the weapon in your line of sight each time. Kind of fun. It takes the monotonous out of dry firing because it does get boring. Many people ask, well, how many minutes of this should I do a day? And I don't think it's about minutes. I think it's about quality, not quantity, if that makes sense. How many? Just get a good 10, maybe 12 that are decent. You're driving with your chest. You're putting it all together. You're squeezing hard. And then you're going to get the feel of that. All we're trying to do, guys, is build muscle memory as much as possible. One last dry firing drill I'd recommend is called the white wall drill. And the white wall drill is very simple. You're going to take a white target again. You're going to put it out in front of you. You're going to concentrate on the white wall. And it'll show you any bobbling that's happening because the front post is going to really be out there against that white wall. And the more we do that, the easier people can see how much trigger travel we need to keep the weapon level and run it. You know, trigger travel and dry firing is part of your system that you're going to do on a regular basis. It's not difficult. It doesn't cost you any money on ammo. You need to do it more than you actually go to the range. Because think about this. Every time you touch the pistol, your weapon is in recoiling, and you got this big explosion of the firearm going off. And internally, our monster is a little freaked out. So we end up running into a situation we do a lot of anticipation or flinching or applying a lot more pressure to that weapon than it needs to be. You know, you want to do a good drill, get you and your buddy to go to the range, get 4 rounds of live, 1 dummy round, have your buddy load your magazine, put the gun out in front of you and begin to lay out your targets. When that dummy round comes up in the magazine and you were expecting the gun to fire and it doesn't, you're going to show that anticipation or that flinching. You know, flinching, trigger pull versus trigger press. These are all things that's going to cause you to be more inaccurate with a pistol. Give these dry fire drills a chance. I think you'll understand that where your problem really comes in is in the trigger more than anything else. Guys, I'm a firearms instructor and I want to help you as much as possible. So I put together some ebooks. Those ebooks are only $3.99, but right now they're 50% off. And I want to give you one for free. I want to give you one you want. All you have to do is go in the descriptions below, put one of those ebooks in the cart, enter free book at checkout, and it's yours for free. Now, those don't download instantly, guys. They take a few minutes. So download them, wait, go back to them. They'll be there for you, and read them. Now, a lot of people tend to be able to read something and be able to do it. Some people need to watch it and read it. Now, that's the cool thing about our YouTube channel. Most of these videos you see on here correlate to the books. And some people need to go to the range and try it out. With the ebook, with the videos, and with the time at the range, you'll become more accurate and more control. And with accuracy and control, you'll feel more confident. And with confidence, it all makes better sense for you. Until next time, God bless, be safe, and remember, you are your first line of defense. I love you very much. Thank you for watching.